Welcome to Music Matters on KMKR LP 99.9 FM, where music brings community together. And now your host, Tyler Woods.
Hi, this is Tyler Woods. You're listening to KMKR LP 99.9 FM Tucson, and this is Music Matters. And today I'm quite excited. Though he's from Phoenix, I consider it local music because he's a gem here in Tucson. Eric Ramsey.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Eric.
Thank you so much for having me on.
I'm excited.
Honestly, I play in Tucson as often as I can, at the folk festivals and things like that, because I adore the music. I adore the music community.
Did you know Tucson's number 7 in the entire United States?
I wouldn't be surprised at all, just with the support and the organization and the communal feel of everything. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, we're rocking it.
Phoenix is not like that at all, as you probably know.
I have guessed, because I have a band in Phoenix, and they come down here, the Holy Hoo-Hoos, they come down here to play.
Oh, right?
Yeah, the Holy Hoo-Hoos. We're an all-chick classic rock band, so it's really kind of fun.
Right on. And
we're the Holy Hoo-Hoos, and get your head out of the gutter, because truly our logo is an owl that's got a halo on it. So we hoo-hoo our way through life.
As it should be.
Yeah, so I just got done interviewing a really incredible blues man the other day. I think his name was Christopher Stevens. Have you heard of him?
No.
He does Mississippi and Delta blues, and I think if I can remember, I wrote it down. He does a thing called the Bottleneck, Mississippi blues. I guess that's a place in Mississippi.
Yeah. No.
That was pretty incredible. Still.
Is he a local guy here?
Yeah, he's locally here, and pretty incredible blues player. You blow my mind away. So, how did you get into the blues? I mean, when did you start playing, and what made you decide to do the blues like you do it?
It's been a progression, I started playing when I was a kid.
Sure.
And then, like a lot of us, I didn't play for a lot of years for various reasons, family and job and things like that.
Sure.
And I started playing again probably, 15 years ago or so. A lot, playing out more. My son got to be old enough that's a long, convoluted story, but I was able to, I had some more time to do that kind of thing. And I'd always loved the blues. I mean, I grew up wanting to be Duane Allman,
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And as I played more and more as an adult, I found myself drawn more to the blues, I think, because it's so universal, and it has spoken to me in different ways at different times in my life, and because it's universal, I sort of feel that it speaks to everybody in their own personal way, but it's a universal thing. Does that make sense?
It does make total sense to me. I'm a musician. I get it.
Yeah. So anyway, I started playing out 2 or 3 times a month as I could. And then 5 years ago, my wife gave me the opportunity to see where this would go. And so I quit my electrician's job and have been playing music full time since then.
Do you think you do well with it?
It depends on your definition of doing well. Yes, I think.
Can you support yourself?
No.
Okay, so
No.
Your wife is helping support.
My wife is very supportive, yeah.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
What's your wife's name?
Her last name?
No, her name.
Oh, her name's Marcy.
Well, Marcy, thank you for letting us be gifted with Eric.
She's a dandy. She's way too good for me. If you meet her, when you meet her, you'll agree immediately that she's way too good for me. So.
Oh, no one's ever too good for us. Come on.
Oh, I'm very lucky. There are a lot of people that will never or have never had an opportunity to do what I've been able to do in the last few years.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful for that and very cognizant of how much of a communal effort it is.
It's hard. I mean, by day I'm a psychotherapist. I'm also an author. I also have a radio show. I also play in 4 bands, and I also host a variety of showcases. And so it gets really difficult when you have other things besides just music in your life. So you are very fortunate.
I am very fortunate, and so are you, really, when you think about it. I mean, you're able to do all of those things I'm assuming are passions of yours, and so
Yes.
you're very, very lucky
Yes.
to be able to make a living with your passion.
It's called ADHD.
Oh, so you don't sleep. I see. I was wondering about that.
You know, I actually go to bed at I went last night was a Friday or a Saturday night. I was in bed by 8, but I'm up by 4.
Yeah.
So that I can start the ball rolling before anybody's awake. So
That's
really,
kind of our lifestyle,
yeah,
actually.
It's a great way to be.
From being a construction worker for so many years, I have kind of naturally wake up early, and our kids get up. We have 2 girls in the home that are in high school still.
Oh wow! Okay.
And so only one of them is driving at the moment. So they get up early because they take an awful lot of time to get ready, to put on their ridiculously small outfits, you know?
Yes, yes. I'm expecting a song about that.
There will probably be one at some point.
I'm no doubt, because I believe, Eric, I believe there's a song in everything. And if you're a parent, I believe there's a blues song in everything.
Oh my Lord, that's a wealth of information. You have to be able to step back a little bit, I think.
No kidding.
Right,
I work
something
with
like that.
teenagers in my practice, and it's just like, I have to step back. You know, it's just like, so you and your mom and dad are fighting, huh? Yeah. Okay. You wanna talk about it? No. Okay. Then we'll just sit here. You know, and
That's our house. How was your day today, sweetheart? Good. Okay. Anything exciting happen? No. Well, did you make the soccer team? Yeah. You sit here.
I do. I sit here day after day doing it, so I can relate. I really can relate. So, back to, I noticed on Facebook you did a tour a few months back.
I did.
How did that go for you?
It went great. I was very pleased with the way it went. I actually made money, but I had people to stay with a lot of the places, and that's the only reason I was able to make money. I drove the whole way,
Yeah.
and I started my first show was at Monterey Court in Tucson, and then I ended up 14 shows in 18 days, the furthest of which was up in Maine.
Wow, you really drove.
Yeah, there was
I love Maine.
we'd never been.
Oh, I
and
got
it was
beautiful there.
Beautiful.
I went to Maine for like 6 days, and I promised myself I would eat lobster every single day, and I did.
Well, why not? I mean, it crawls up off the
No kidding, right?
onto the street. I played at a place called. Are you familiar with Portland, Maine?
No, we
Okay.
were in Camden and
Okay.
Bar Harbor.
Okay. There's a small island off the coast of Portland called Peaks Island, and I have some friends who lived there part-time, and they heard that I was going to be out in their area, so they said, well, we'll host a show out there for you if you want. So it's a 20-minute ferry ride, which is cool. And when do you ever get to ride a ferry?
Right.
Yeah. And it was right around the solstice, so
Nice.
it was light until like 9:30, and then the sunset was spectacular. It was really a great experience. But yes, it was a lot of driving.
Yeah. So did you rest in between, or did you sightsee, or did you make it all kinds of things?
No, there was no time.
No.
There were literally, I had 2 days off, one of which was because a gig fell through, but the other one, and then one was sort of built in. But no, most of the days I would get up early and drive 8 or 9 or 10 hours to the next city, and then have a show that night, and then do the same thing the next day.
Would you do it again?
I would do it again.
There was a hesitation there.
3 weeks was too long for me.
So maybe like 10
And the way our
days.
family works, it was too long for me to be away because I missed my family, and I felt like I was shirking my responsibilities to my family. Yeah, I think 10 days would be reasonable.
Yeah, yeah.
And I might have something coming up. I do have something coming up in Texas anyway, next May.
Oh, nice. That's my birthday month.
Really? Mine
Yeah.
too. When's
Really?
your birthday?
When's your birthday?
May 5th.
May 14th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
so
a
you're
Taurus.
almost a Pisces. Or you are a Pisces.
I'm a Taurus.
You're a Taurus.
I'm a Taurus.
Well, okay. So when
What are you?
I'm a Taurus.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
There's 2 Tauruses in this little room?
My first wife was a Taurus.
Oh, dear.
There's
a song in that.
we brought a wonderful son into the world. That's the best thing that happened.
There you go.
You know.
You know, I do a lot of couples counseling, and one of the things I say is when they go, why did I get with that person? And I always say, because you brought children into this world, and that was your purpose. And sometimes a marriage serves us for, not going to get into counseling, but it serves us for many reasons that we forget about. And that's we brought little souls in. So
Yeah.
I'm all about little souls, so I love that. Eric, talk to me about some of the things that you really enjoy about the music you play.
I like the diversity of the music I play. Because although you characterize me as a blues man, a lot of my songs are not necessarily blues. They might have blues influences, and they might be sort of a loose blues structure. So I like the idea that something's being channeled through me in the stuff that I write. And as you well know, when you write things, sometimes you have no idea where they're coming from, where it comes, and sometimes you can't write it down fast enough. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, I believe being a musician and a singer-songwriter, it's definitely channeled from a place beyond this earth. You know?
Yeah, the Inception certainly is channeled from someplace. Now the craft then is all you or all me. When you're given this
Lots
concept,
of calluses and practice.
calluses in practice, and thumbing through thesauruses and working the craft of the lyric. You know, I think that's where the work comes in. But it's almost always, for me anyway, it's a gift from somewhere, whether it's a phrase or a thought or a melody or something. It always just kind of comes.
I was listening to a band at the House of Bards the other day, and I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm going, I need a pen, you know? And I got the back of some music, and I just started writing, and I was able to break my dry spell for a year, and I wrote my first song in a year.
Really?
Yeah, it was called Namaste, Now Go Away.
Okay.
So it's but I love that, you know. I sometimes go around the house and I pull out napkins and scrap papers and people's cards and try to lay it out like a puzzle, and you know, it's great.
So what happened when you were listening to that band? What influenced you? What struck some kind of internal chord that all of a sudden you had to have a pen, and you sort of ended your...
I was looking at all the wonderful new people in my life and thinking of some of the people that aren't in my life, and I was thinking, all right, I like this. And that I don't have enemies, I have allies, and that even for my enemies I have to have compassion. And I was thinking of compassion when it came up, and I was noticing the band that was playing. A friend of mine is laid up with cancer and not doing well, and the band, they came in from LA, goes, we'll go to her hotel tomorrow and play just for her. And the word compassion just came up for me. Wow. And I met him at the hotel the next day where she was staying at, and they did a little concert. But I just felt such compassion, and I'm a Buddhist, so when I feel compassion, I think, you know, I'm honoring you and everything. So, right. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And musicians have such incredible compassion. The ones who are doing it for the right reason, I think, do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, Tucson musicians. That's what I'm exposed to, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I'm so proud of Tucson and the wonderful musicians. I remember I first caught you at Monterey Court doing a brunch with Nancy Elliott,
Right.
and I knew at that moment that was it, that you had a fan.
Well, how nice.
And so I'm so glad that you come to Tucson. How often do you come to Tucson?
Not as often as I'd like. It's hard to, it's sort of a two-edged sword, I think. I love to come to Tucson. I love to play in Tucson. I haven't been able to get into a whole lot of clubs or places in Tucson.
Really?
Yeah, not really.
Oh.
But I'm okay
Monterey
with
Court?
that. I'm okay. Monterey Court.
Bards would take you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
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 This thing that Greg invited me to do at the Mint,
Oh, my
I'm
God.
very excited about that.
And I play in a band with Greg,
Uh-huh.
and I just love
What a
him.
prince,
He is something else.
Yeah. But anyway, there's a part of me that says, I play in the Valley quite a bit. I play, 3 or 4 nights a week, most weeks. And
In Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sensitive at taking away a gig in Tucson from another local musician here, so I think,
Don't be.
well,
Because the thing about music is, sometimes if we're always seeing local musicians, it's good to get someone, and I consider you local, because you're here enough that
thank you.
I think, well, I didn't say loco as in loco, but I meant local.
I appreciate that, though. That means a lot.
Hey, let's let somebody hear something of yours. Pick a song you'd like me to play on the radio. This is what I have of yours.
Okay.
What's something you would like me to play so people can get to know? I love, by the way, this whole thing of Dylan.
Thank you.
And your version of Watchtower. It's just mind-blowing. So.
Robbie and I actually are going to be at Monterey Court Tuesday night.
Oh,
So,
well, I guess it's possible.
You're probably playing somewhere.
I'm going to be there. So, is there something you want to play off of this thing then with Robbie?
Sure. Let's do "If Not for You."
That's my second favorite song on that CD.
Is
Thank
it?
you. Yeah. So that's beautiful. And so my name is Tyler Woods. You're listening to KMKR LP. I'm with Eric Ramsey. And here's a song called "If Not for You." And I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, maybe.
not for you. Babe, I couldn't even find the door. I couldn't even see the floor. Yes, I'd be sad and blue. Not for you. Not for you, the night would find me wide awake. The day it would surely break would not be new if not for you. Not for you, my sky would fall. Rain would gather too. Without your love, I'd be nowhere at all. I'd be lost without for you. Not for you. Not for you. Mr. Eric Ramsey on the slide guitar. If not for you, the winter would hold no spring. I couldn't hear my robin sing. I wouldn't have a clue. If not for you. Not for you, my sky would fall. Rain would gather too. Without your love, I'd be nowhere at all. I'd be lost. Yes, I would be lost. I'd be lost if not for you. If not for you.
Dylan's version. I love George Harrison's version, but this version takes the cake, and I'll play it for people, and they're like, "Oh, who's this?" So it's just a great.
That's pretty heady company. I mean, if you're...
Yeah, but, I mean, it's hard for us to accept compliments and as musicians.
It's very hard.
What's hard about it, Eric?
It's interesting. I'm perfectly at home on stage.
Uh-huh.
I'm perfectly at home and feel very comfortable talking to people from the safety of sitting behind a guitar and a microphone.
Mm-hmm. That's your shield, huh?
Yeah, totally it is. It's, but a compliment face to face is, I've never been good at that, and I don't know why. I think it makes me uncomfortable.
Well, we're not trained to do it. I learned 2 words, so I'm going to teach you 2 words.
I know what they are.
What?
Thank you.
That's it.
I know what they are.
And if it's too hard, I just say thanks.
I know.
But
I
when
was
someone
raised...
tells me, "Oh, no, that's not true," I'm like, "Oh, you call me a liar?" And then I've learned that, so it's like, okay. You learned at a young age.
Well, not to blow one's own horn, and to be self-effacing all the time.
But you don't go around going, "I'm great." People go around saying, "You're great."
You're right, I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
I'm glad.
Well,
I do like to think that I'm okay saying I'm skilled.
uh-huh.
I did a lot of work on self-esteem. This is a fat girl that's trying to get skinny. And I don't know if I know, I was deaf when I was born till I was 7.
No.
And so I had a lot of, I had a speech impediment, and I couldn't hear. And so I learned at a young age that once I got my hearing that people can be vicious and cruel, but not as vicious and cruel as we can be to ourselves.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, we're really hard on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that my wife and I talk about a lot.
It's good. It's good.
And
I'm sure there's songs in there.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah, I'm sure you have a song for that. Hey, Eric, what's some of the more difficult things about being a musician?
I have a hard time booking, and especially as a DIYer, as you are as well, finding the time to do all of the social media that you have to do, all of the outreach to venues, organization of tours, practicing, writing, all of those things. It's very hard to do them all at a level that I'm happy with.
Have you heard of Joanne and Monty yet? Have you had the privilege of catching them yet?
No.
Okay, they play at the Mint a lot in Monterey, and they're a husband and wife team, and they're very sweet and very talented. But they actually set aside time like a job because that's how they make their living, and they do it quite successfully because from 9 to 5, they're either writing or doing their blogs or returning their letters to the fans or whatever. And I love that idea that they turned it really into a business.
It's a great way to do that.
Takes discipline.
It takes discipline. I think it probably. Do they have children?
No.
It takes.
Being a single dad, huh?
A single dad, or having children that are out of the home, and more autonomous.
Yeah.
And because one of the blessings, I think, of my wife allowing me to do what I'm doing is that I've been able to free her up to pursue her career more.
Okay.
And because I'm like the stay-at-home dad, I take care of the laundry, I get the meals and stuff ready, and that kind of thing, which is very fulfilling for me.
I think so.
And so when you talk about setting aside a block of time from 9 to 5, I do that, but it's from about 7:40 to 10:30, and then it's something else has to happen with the house, and then it's maybe 1 to 2:15 until one of the kids has to be picked up from school. So a big block of time like that isn't usually available, but I do try to break things into small, manageable bits and do what I can.
That's how I do it, and that's why I get up. We were talking about the hours we get up. That's why I get up at 4 in the morning, is I have from 4 to 6:30 all to myself.
Right.
And then that's kind of exciting to get that 2.5 hour block.
So do you use that for your music stuff, or do you
I
use that?
use it for a little bit of everything, because I'm also an author, and I'm in the middle of writing a book. And so I use that for either writing, songwriting, putting together ads to get them up online and posted. But I do it something for business. So, yeah. And it's just precious time to me. Those are the 2 golden hours I have of my day.
When do you feed the creative side of you then? When are you able to do that? Is that through
That
the,
is
through
my
the bands?
creative side, and it is through the bands, and the Phoenix band only comes into town about 4 times a year. But yeah, I get up, and Mondays is 1 band, and then Fridays is 2 band practices, and I make my schedule accordingly, because I own my own business. I can slip in where I want my creative side to be.
Nice.
And work my clients around it.
Do your bands play original music?
Both. We do originals and covers, and they're all different. I play in one band that's a rap band, and then a newgrass band, and then a classic rock band, and then So I just like the variety. I like to expose myself to as many diverse kinds of music as I can.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Who were your influences?
At different times of my life, the Allman Brothers Band and that whole Southern rock thing.
Yeah, mine was Marshall Tucker.
Yeah, Marshall Tucker. Toy Caldwell was I was a huge Toy Caldwell fan. And then I went in early college, I went into a very heavy blues phase, and so Albert Collins and Albert King and E.B. King, obviously, and Stevie Ray Vaughan was, he was everybody's hero for a while. And then, while I wasn't playing very much, I listened a lot to country music until it became ersatz stuff that it is now. But I was a huge fan of George Jones and Merle Haggard and Buck Owens and all
Johnny
that sort
Cash, Hank Williams.
Yeah.
I
still like that stuff.
Yeah, my cousin, my father's cousin, he'd be my great cousin, is Boxcar Willie.
Oh, really? Sits around in his underwear.
But you gotta love it. Love it. Hey, I'm gonna play another song by you.
Okay.
Because we're gonna play 3 songs by you, and then I gotta get you off soon to the club so you can get sound checked and everything. What song is it that you'd like me to play off one of your fabulous albums that are out there?
Well, let's see. Why don't we play something off of Road of Man?
Okay.
And let's, if Not For You is kind of uplifting, let's play Cocoon, because that's really dark and depressing.
Okay, so I'm with Eric Ramsey here in the studio, and I'm with KMKR LP 99.9 FM Tucson, and we are going to hear Cocoon.
Don't wanna be no butterfly. I don't wanna sprout no wings. Want to stay here in my cocoon and think unhappy things. Don't want to flutter around no sunny fields. I don't want to ride no wind. Want to stay here where I'm safe and warm. You all do what you intend. Your sky's so big and blue and wide. Oh, it scares the hell half out of me. I plan to stay right here inside. Why can't you all just let me be? I hang out with the Beatles here. I hang out with the crickets too. So I'll just stay here near the ground if it's all the same to you. Nobody pays me any mind down here among the weeds. And here in my cocoon, I got all the friends I need. Your world goes by so fast. Oh, and it don't make no sense. Since I'm here all by myself, don't have to think in present tense. My view don't ever change, it's true. I done ate up all the scenery. Here in my cocoon, and none of that matters much to me. Don't want to be no butterfly. No, I don't want to sprout no wings. I'll just stay here where I'm safe and warm and think my unhappy things right here in my cocoon. Just let me pupate here in peace. Here in my cocoon, why can't you all just let me be?
Okay, Eric, tell me how technology has affected you as a musician.
It makes me practice better.
I love that. Finally, a good answer. I ask that with every interview.
It makes me, it points out my flaws,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives me instant feedback. Especially, I try to work with a metronome regularly, and there are all kinds of online tools you can use. And then I try to record my rehearsal sessions. Sometimes when I can stand to listen back to it, I will. And it points out things that I think you don't objectively hear when you're actually practicing yourself, like fluctuations in time and pitch and things like that,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's been a huge help, I think.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, well, we're sitting here at a 24-track studio on a computer,
Right.
and my 24-track studio was about $99.
Well,
So I have to love that with technology.
Yeah.
Is that there's that. But I also think, like, recently you sent me some CDs, and then you had 2 cards that I could go on and get your download. What do you think about the streaming music?
I think it's the death of anyone being able to make a living as a musician or as a singer-songwriter.
Right, because you don't get paid that much for streaming. You have to probably stream like a couple thousand times before you can get it what would a CD would cost.
A couple more than that,
Really?
I think. Yeah, I think the rate is 0.021 cent
Per stream.
per
yeah.
stream. So it's more like in the tens or hundreds of thousands.
Thousands to make what a CD is.
Now that's a wonderful thing for the consumer. And it's a
It
great
is.
thing for exposure.
It's great for exposure.
You can't eat exposure, you know.
But then there's people like me, I don't even own a CD player.
Well, and that's just it. Even download cards are becoming kind of passé. And I think it's probably a generational thing. People buy CDs at shows, I think, to have a memento, a keepsake.
Exactly.
But they won't, chances are they won't listen to the CD itself. I mean, they might take it out and listen to it once to put it on their computer. But then they'll either stream it or they'll have it in a digital format, you know, on
Yeah,
their
I
computer.
put a CD in, the CD Pro is broken. I put it in a laptop. I burn it onto the computer, then I stick it. And
Yeah.
I've done that with all my CDs, including my CDs of like probably 10,000 or more CDs. One by one I have
Wow.
put them on my computer.
Yeah, and I think I was talking to the company that pressed this last CD of mine, and most people aren't. They're not even doing CDs. They're doing thumb drives,
Right, exactly.
which makes a little sense because you can put bonus material on a thumb drive. You can put
And you
lyrics,
can put the art
you can
on
put
there
art.
and everything.
Yeah, you can do all that.
Yeah.
And most cars nowadays have
Mine
interface
does.
for that, and they don't even have a CD player.
Or you can just put it onto your phone and plug your phone into your car anymore these days.
Right, true.
So-
Yeah, and you don't even have to plug your phone in.
Right, Bluetooth it, yeah.
Yeah.
Technology is just blowing me away because I remember starting as a kid. I had an 8-track, I had a cassette player, and a reel-to-reel. And I'd lay one track down on my 8-track, I'd lay one track on my... And sometimes it would just be a little behind and everything. But I was multi-tracking before I was 11, 12 years old.
Oh wow,
So, you know...
that's amazing.
It is come a very long way, and I'm glad I have that memory. You know, that now we can just turn on the computer and multi-track.
It is remarkable, and you can get. I don't know if you've done any of your recordings here, but the quality you can get
It's
is remarkable.
It's incredible. My last CD I did in the studio, but I've done a lot here too. So I'm you know, I just love the technology.
Yeah.
Another quick question and advice for people starting off in the field of music. I always say, have a job. You know?
Have a job.
You know?
Have a job. Play what you feel and play what you want to play.
Yeah.
And don't let anybody tell you that you can't do this or that or the other. If you
Right. Don't cave.
if you're fully invested in what covers you're doing, make them your own and play your heart out on them. If you're writing your own stuff, have the strength and the commitment and the guts to play your own stuff, because chances are there aren't going to be that many people listening anyway, especially in clubs, and you might get one or two people that sit up and go, wow, when 30 of them are watching the football game, you know?
Yeah, that's what I love about venues like Monterey Court.
Yeah.
People listen. Venues like the Mint or the House of Bards. A House of Bards has 3 stages, 2 of them being massive. And you know, I hate playing at places where there's a TV going on and the cheering for the sports team, and then they have music. However, as a musician, I've come to expect that.
It's realistic, and it's part of the job.
It is part
honestly.
of our job. A lot of people are paying rent to rent out a hall or something for people to come see them, but I just don't feel comfortable doing that. I'm okay not doing that, but I love house concerts.
House concerts are great. House concerts are probably the best venue for someone who does what I do. and what you do,
Singer-songwriter,
too.
yeah.
Because people are there because they want to be there. And
We have a stage in our backyard.
Do you?
We throw concerts here a lot, so
nice.
it's kind of fun. But Eric, I know I got to get you out to the Mint, and you're going to be playing a 2-hour show there.
Yeah.
Which is so rare that the Mint normally does an hour for each band, and you rated the whole 2 hours.
I
so.
rated it, or like 2 other people canceled, and Greg said,
No.
hey. I'm tremendously flattered, honestly, that Greg would ask me to play this.
Yeah. And Tucson loves you. I mean, anytime I say, have you heard of Eric Ramsey? And they're like, oh my God, So just know that you are chit-chatted about in this town.
Thank you. And I love Tucson for
Yeah.
the very same reason.
So, hey, we're going to end. Do you have a song that you want to end with, or could I request my favorite
You
song?
request your favorite.
My favorite song is Heartfall.
Okay.
I don't know why I like that. Could you tell me what that's about?
That's I wrote that for my mom. She died. She was quite young. She was 52 when she died, and I was 22, 23, 24, something like that.
Mm.
And I didn't write that until probably I was almost 50, because I couldn't.
I got it.
I wasn't ready to.
Understand.
But once I started, it was obvious who it was for. And again, it's kind of a universal thing. It's very personal to me, and
I've
it's
taken
personal
it
to
very
you.
personal, yes.
And a lot of people have expressed that same thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I like about it is it shows your talent as a songwriter, your versatility as a slide player, and just who you are as a musician.
Thank you.
It's very versatile. Eric, I can't thank you enough for being here. My name is Tyler Woods. You're listening to KMKR LP 99.9 Tucson, and this is Music Matters. And I'm going to leave you with this interview with Eric Ramsey's Heartfall. And I'll see you on the other side of this song.
I only miss you when I drink too much. I never think of you at all. I only miss you when I drink too much. I never think of you at all. Well, it's good falls and bad falls and falling off the wall falls. This is a hard fall for me. This is a hard fall for me. I only miss you when the sun comes up. I never think of you at all. I only miss you when the sun comes up. I never think of you at all. Well, it's high falls and low falls and falling off the wagon falls. This is a hard fall for me. This is a hard fall for me.
I only miss you when I take a breath. I never think of you at all. I only miss you when I take a breath. I never think of you at all. Well, it's pitfalls and pratfalls and falling from graceful. This is a hard fall for me. This is a hard fall for me. This is a hard fall.